All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. First time I opened my mouth this morning. Go ahead, type in the chat box where you're listening in from. I see Eugenia Muhammad from Philadelphia. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, what do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, take action, stay focused, and do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I see Vanita from North Carolina, Brian Roberts, Annapolis, Maryland. 3rd day in a row, Facebook's not letting me connect. I don't know what's up, what's going on. They'll probably blame coronavirus for it, but we keep it moving. I'm doing it on YouTube Live. That's right, Eldridge. That is called Alegria. It always changes my mood and mindset because to me, Alegria means happiness, but when I hear that music, it sparks emotions that I had when I first heard it back in the old ACN days of excitement, like something magical is about to happen. And it's come from Cirque du Soleil uses it too. That's where it comes from. See Shane West from Chicago. Okay, let's get started here. Let's look at the crypto market cap. Oh, look at that. 163 billion. It has risen 9.7% over the last 24 hours. 9.7%. Good morning, Stan Williams, Tampa, Florida. Bitcoin dominance has gone to 65.2%. So Bitcoin took a big jump. Ethereum is dropping in percentage-wise. At one point, it was at 10%. Ripple's kind of remained the same. So Bitcoin is up 11% over the last 24 hours. 11%. Looks like it hit a wall. What is Tether doing? Yeah, it's kind of bounced, kind of flatlining right now. Ethereum is up 10.6%. Ripple, 7%. Bitcoin Cash, 6.6. Litecoin, 7.5. Bitcoin SV, 7.7. So we're seeing a nice, healthy bounce right now. I don't know if this is a flat ball bounce yet, but just looking at the trends from a few days ago, this is from it hit the bottom. This is trending upwards. So this is interesting. As the stock market and Dow continue to go down, it's below $20,000. 20,000 points now. Let's see, best performers last 24 hours. Why does this show us Qtum? That's not the best performer. Neo, 10.5%. Ontology, 10. Binance, 10.5. Holo, FF token. Look at Kyber's 11. Bitcoin, 26%. What's wrong with this algorithm? It's supposed to go in order. What about worst performers? Wax, down 9.6%. Tether Gold. I am not familiar with that one. Good morning, Tony. Insular. Pundi X is up 12.8%. Look at this value, though, 0.0001 cent. You can get a whole lot of Pundi X coins. I don't see this going away anytime soon. They've got a real world product. It's just their value is so low. Is that one of the lowest it's ever been? I want to take a look. All-time high was 1.5 cents. All-time low was 7 days ago. Yeah. I might have to drop a bag on Pundi X and ride that sucker up, because it is at its all-time low right now. That's when, let me look at the markets again. I think it's Binance. I need to see Binance US. Interesting. I'll have to read some research on that one. All right. Let's take a look at some news. Top cryptocurrency analyst forecasts Bitcoin's future. Warns of potential unknown unknowns. Unknown unknowns. A crypto hedge fund analyst is outlining his views on where the price of Bitcoin is heading in the long run. Willie Wu of Adaptive Capital says he's not surprised to see the leading cryptocurrency dump alongside traditional markets amid widespread fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the global economy. He's not convinced that Bitcoin has hit a bottom. Neither am I. However, Wu believes Bitcoin's fundamentals remain strong, fueled by interest from millennials who famously would rather visit the dentist than listen to their banks, according to a 2014 survey. Dump then moon. We are undergoing flight to safety right now. Bitcoin is looking for its bottom, but know that once the bottom is in there, are strong bullish pressures ahead. It's this economic environment and the years ahead that Bitcoin was built for. The inheritance from boomers to millennials is tipped to create the next bull cycle. This crisis is a catalyst for this effect, as heartbreaking as it is. $68 trillion of wealth that will pass hands is now accelerated. Millennials love crypto. Doesn't take much money to move the needle. Despite his optimism, Wu says Bitcoin is now in uncharted territory and warns anything can happen with the extremely risky and notoriously volatile asset. Wu references a phrase coined by former U.S. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, who in the aftermath of 9/11 cited unknown unknowns as uncalculated risks from future events that are so unexpected that they have never been considered. We should also take caution in the 10-year price history of Bitcoin. It has only existed inside a macro bull market. We have zero data on how it behaves in a macro bear market. This is the known unknown. I wonder about the unknown unknowns. Three Arrows Capital CEO Su Zhu also backs the notion that Bitcoin will shine in the long run as central banks search for new and increasingly extreme ways to stimulate markets and keep credit flowing. Not all analysts in the crypto space are as optimistic as Wu and Zhu. Veteran technical trader Peter Brandt appears to be off the Bitcoin train completely. After tracking Bitcoin's parabolic potential to 100,000 for months, Brandt says he believes it's now more likely that Bitcoin will head to zero. He's crazy. That's not going to happen. How you go from you predicted it's going to go to 100,000, now you say it's going to go to zero? Nah, it's not going to happen. The next one up. Mark Cuban drops the hammer on bailouts. Now, you guys have been paying attention to the news. Congress has approved 3 or 4 measures for bailouts. $500 billion, it's $1 trillion worth. $500 billion that's going towards cash to all adults. Now, here's the key. The key is in the wording, the fine print. It says taxpayers. So if you got cousins in them out there thinking they're about to get a free check, if they didn't file their taxes, they're not getting nothing, because that's how they're determining your income. They look at that. Taxpayers. This is also where it might be a little bit unfair on the business side, because I think, I don't know what politician said, people who shouldn't be getting a check will be getting one. Let's say somebody like myself, as an example. I'm not going to say how much money I made last year, but it was all in crypto, and the tax man defined it as capital gains tax. So earned income shows me as negative $19,000 last year. They're basically saying you live in a box underneath the 10 freeway. Negative. So they'd send me a check. But under normal circumstances, I think it was less than $60,000 a year, I wouldn't qualify. So that might work in my favor. But a lot of self-employed people and business owners know how to do the tax code right. I remember a friend of mine had made $800,000, but the tax return only showed 40 grand. He reported his taxes. It's just, I mean, if you're a self-employed, you're a business, there's so many loopholes and benefits for you. It's ridiculous. I'm not complaining. But he was laughing. He was like, yeah, they say I made 40,000 last year. Because they're looking at the net. They're not looking at your gross. All right. So Mark Cuban drops the hammer on bailouts. Tech titan billionaire and Bitcoin skeptic Mark Cuban is calling on government officials to execute a smart fiscal plan that protects taxpayer dollars and supports American workers who are being hit hard by the pandemic. In an interview with CNBC Squawk Box host Andrew Ross Sorkin, Cuban blasts government bailouts that float corporations and enrich C-suite executives while leaving average workers dry. I agree with that. As the Trump administration puts together $1 trillion stimulus package, with the Senate passing a multi-billion-dollar emergency plan on Wednesday that designates $500 billion to direct cash payments to Americans starting April 6, Cuba says the U.S. government needs to get it right. Getting money into the system is a function of the Fed, and they're obviously taking those steps right now. 2 is when there's a bailout. When there's a bailout and the government comes in and offers assistance to an organization or a public company, is particular, whether it's an airline, whatever it may be, there are most likely going to be steps taken by the company. And historically, this is what has taken place, where they reward the executives. They reprice their options. They give them more stock. They give them options, whatever it may be. Whatever it is that a company does for their executives, they should be required to proportionately do the same thing for everyone else that works for the company. Period. End of story. Part 1. I agree. Part 2, no buybacks. Not now, not a year from now, not 20 years from now. Not ever, because effectively you're spending taxpayer money to buy back stock. And to me, that's just the wrong way to do that. I agree. Sorkin, who chronicled the 2008 financial crisis, says the best stimulus plan would include bridge loans. In a New York Times op-ed, Sorkin writes, the government could offer every business, American business, large and small, and every self-employed and gig worker a no-interest bridge loan guaranteed for the duration of the crisis to be paid back over a 5-year period. Oh, I love that. Hook me up with that one. Companies receiving such loans would be required, he writes, to ensure that they retain 90% of their workforce to reduce the threat of job loss, with workers maintaining their salaries while they stay at home. With interest rates near zero, Sorkin argues that there's no better time to launch bridge loans, easing nerves and soothing fears over bankruptcy and unemployment, despite a hefty $10 trillion price tag to execute the plan. All right, I'm seeing Governor Andrew Cuomo all over the freaking news. It's like he's taking the mantle of the president. He's doing what the president should be doing. And one thing I saw them mentioning is paying no mortgages for 90 days. The banks are not allowed to penalize you or report you to the credit agency for 90 days. Now, I don't know if that's just a proposal or if that's going to be instituted and if that is just in the state of New York. But if it's in New York, other states may follow suit. I don't know how California will react to that. People don't realize California is so freaking big. No, it's not the biggest state, but it has the largest population. There's more people in California than in the entire country of Canada. In fact, if California were to be its own country, it would be the 6th largest country as far as GDP in the world. 5th or 6th. I don't know how that will work here, because there is a huge wealth gap in California. You have very, very, very rich and everybody else that's poor. All right, next one up. I can't be long today because this is a very busy day. I've got about 4 presentations I'm doing today. The first one up is going to be at the top of the hour, 12 p.m. Eastern. So world's 2nd largest automaker reveals plan to accelerate use of blockchain technology. Here we go. Blockchain technology will disrupt every single industry on the planet. The auto industry. Japanese automaker Toyota Motor Corporation recently unveiled its Toyota Bitcoin Lab in collaboration with Toyota Financial Services. In a press release, the company reveals that the Toyota Blockchain Lab, made up of 6 Toyota Group companies, has been exploring the use of blockchain for nearly a year. In November of 2019, the lab identified 4 main use cases: customer verification, accumulation of vehicle data, supply chain management, asset digitalization to diversify the automaker's financing methods. I mean, this only makes sense. As these cars are more automated now, it's like you're getting, especially you're getting a Tesla, you're climbing into a computer. And then you got OnStar and everything, and everything is digital in your car. So the blockchain could keep track of all of that. The lab now plans to accelerate its blockchain-based initiatives. According to the company, going forward, Toyota Blockchain Lab will expand its collaborations with various partner companies, further pursue the possibilities of blockchain technology, and accelerate initiatives for business implementation. It also aims to work with other companies to facilitate the social implementation of blockchain platforms around the world. The formation of Toyota Blockchain Lab is part of the automaker's efforts to become a mobility company. By using blockchain, the company can foster an open and secure business environment. With features such as highly tamper-resistant and fault-resistant, blockchain technology can realize secure data sharing between various parties by improving the reliability of the information. There we go. And then last up, U.S. cash crisis. I've been talking about this for 2 years. There's going to be a run on the bank and people aren't going to be able to get their money out. But it's already starting because now the banks are limiting how much cash you can actually pull out. Have you guys figured this out yet? I told my parents 2 weeks ago to make sure they go get as much cash as they can and to hold on to it. And they did. And my dad went to the bank the other day, and there was a limit on him on how much was $800 or $900 a day he's able to pull out in cash. You're going to start to see ATM machines, they don't have any more cash. And people are going to panic. Enter the Fed coin. They're going to digitize the dollar to save the day. The entire world has been focused on the economy as the coronavirus outbreak has devastated global markets. While stocks, commodities, and barrels of oil plunge in value, there's been considerable demand for cold, hard cash in certain countries. According to reports, Wall Street's elite has been trying to withdraw 30 to 50K per person as they flee the Hamptons. See, this is, remember what I say, good morning to my cousin Marnita. Follow what they do, not what they say. We've got, 10 to 15 CEOs stepped down before the coronavirus. Bill Gates just last week. We've got Wall Street elites are fleeing the Hamptons, and they're withdrawing 30 to 50K cash on them. Where are they going? What are they doing? What do they know that we don't know? What are they preparing for? Moreover, various individuals across the U.S. are claiming financial institutions like Chase and Bank of America are restricting cash withdrawal amounts. U.S. banks impose withdrawal restrictions as customers empty accounts demanding hard cash. Cash is something everyone looks for during times of economic hardship, and right now, banks are struggling to provide liquidity. You may ask, how can that be possible? Well, so this is what people don't understand. When you get your paycheck and you go and deposit it in the bank, you're not giving the bank cash, you're giving them a paper. The bank records the amount from that paper into your account. The bank immediately takes about 75% of it and they reinvest it in something else, whether it's real estate, businesses, small or large, loans. They're reinvesting it so that they can make money on your money. So the cash is not sitting in the bank. It's just a number on a screen. Now, that number in the United States equates to more than 11 trillion in U.S. banks. Cash on hand is about $4, maybe up to $5 trillion cash now because they've been printing more money last year. So if everybody ran to the bank and wanted to pull out all of their cash, there's not enough physical cash to go around. So the banks will have to put locks on the front doors and the ATM machines will run dry. If you've ever seen that movie, It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey from Bailey Loans, you saw that happen. Great Depression and World War II, they had a run on the banks. Everybody wanted cash. There was not enough to go around. What is going to be the solution this time around? The government's already preparing for it. They're going to digitize the dollar. That's good for convenience, bad for the long term. Because now they will have full control. They can shut you down at any time. So if you have cash and you pull cash out, they can try to freeze your bank account, but you got the cash. They don't know where you're keeping it. But if they decide we're no longer accepting cash, in fact, they're going to have, I predict they'll have a government program telling people to turn in their cash for the Fed coin credits. The U.S. government's going to start to pull back cash off the market. And the entire world was going to do that. It's inevitable. So anyways, the price of oil has plummeted even further from last week and is at its lowest value per barrel in 17 years. The price of crude oil is hovering around $43 a barrel. Have we felt that at the gas pumps yet? Have you guys noticed the prices coming down? So $43 a barrel, and Goldman Sachs predicts the price will drop to $20 a barrel soon. $20 a barrel? Last time I remember something like that might have been the 80s. The Iran-Contra affair. $20 a barrel. Oil prices have already begun to hurt people within the gas industry, as 3,500 Halliburton employees from the North Bell facility in Houston have been laid off. So they got laid off. It had nothing even to do with coronavirus. While facing massive layoffs in the industries like airlines, tourism, and construction, people are in search of hard cash to help them through the economic storm. News.bitcoin.com reported on how in the Hamptons, New York's elite have been going to banks and asking to withdraw large sums of cash. According to reports, banks like Chase, JP Morgan, and Bank of America have been limiting withdrawals. This is because the rich from New York have been asking for 30 to 50K withdrawals. So banks have created a limit between $3,000 to $10,000 in some areas. During the market massacre on March 12th, Manhattan Bank temporarily ran low on $100 bills after a large rush for cash. A B of A spokesperson told the public that there were only issues with large denominations and individuals are able to withdraw $20 and $50 notes. We don't keep large amounts of cash in big bills in the branches because it's dangerous for our employees and there is low demand, Bank of America stated. There are people complaining on social media about the withdrawal limits from certain banks in the U.S. over the last few days. Go to the bank today and ask to withdraw your entire balance. One individual tweeted on March 17th, they are refusing to give out more than $5,000, even if your account has $20,000 in it. Even if your normal withdrawal limit is $10,000 daily. On March 14th, a person from New York tweeted, food chain is broken. Went to Stop and Shop and shelves are empty. Meat's gone. No more eggs. And the bank would only permit a $2,500 limit per day withdrawal. Another Twitter post shows a man visiting Chase Bank and recording a video of a manager refusing to give him $5K. Moreover, the branch manager from Chase asked the person to delete the video. The man said, Chase is insolvent. Bank run. The bank proceeded to lie to me to go around outside the drive-thru without my mask, and she would give me the $5K promised earlier, $2K rationed per customer. I did so, and they refused to give it to me. Manager demanded I delete the video. Starting from today, this is from Mr. Backwards as a tweet. Starting from today, I'll start to withdraw cash amounts until I reach a buffer of 6 months of living expenses. Keep in mind that governments will discourage cash withdrawals, can ban the usage of cash payments, all because they're scared of an impending bank run. You see that? Impending. Now hold up. How many of you Have enough cash in your bank so you can pull out to survive for 6 months? I know the answer to the question. I never ask a question I already don't know the answer to. But I want you to be asking yourself that question. See, the average American has less than $1,000 in their savings account. They're living paycheck to paycheck, let alone you got a nest egg that you can sit on and survive for 6 months without any income coming in. You got that kind of cash? The wealthy do. And the wealthy are scared. So what does that mean everybody else should be? Well, everyone else hasn't figured it out yet. The wealthy see it coming. European banks shutter, German banks impose withdrawal restrictions, and bank runs from the past. We are at the beginning of the bank run right now. I'm not spreading fear. I am only speaking facts. Go to your bank right now and see how much you're able to withdraw. This is only the beginning. See, the average person, they don't listen to my crypto talk. They ain't paying attention to the news like that. They think everything's going to be good in the next 2 weeks. It's only going to get worse. And once they figure it out, they're all going to be running to the banks. The U.S. is not the only country that is having cash problems, as European banks have shuttered hundreds of branches. See, that hasn't happened in America yet, but in Europe, they've already closed hundreds of branches since the COVID-19 spread. For example, the financial institution HVB closed 101 branches across the EU. Imagine whatever your local bank is that you've been going to for years, you know, just to pick up an extra 20 or 40 bucks, drop off a check, and you go there this morning and the bank is closed. And they say, well, we closed 4 branches. You got to go to the next city over. That's the only branch. And then you decide, what? What's going on? So you drive to the other branch and you see a long line outside because all the different cities are pointing to that one branch. Now you got to wait in line 2 or 3 hours just to get to an ATM machine or inside the door. What emotional response will that cause for you? Just picture yourself in that situation. I know, because I went to the grocery store. And so far, to me, this was just stuff happening on the news in some faraway place. But I go to the grocery store, and there's a line outside. They're not letting people in, and you're rationing on what you can get. Now, that kind of hits close to home. It's that old saying, shit just got real. By next week, you're going to start hearing people on Facebook, people that you know, talking about they got coronavirus or somebody in their family does. You're not hearing it right now. We're hearing Kevin Durant got it, Tom Hanks got it, Idris Elba got it. But then you're going to be like, dang, Martha got it. Dang, John got it from my company. Dang, the kid I went to high school with, he got it. My cousin got it. You're going to start seeing this starting next week. I'm not giving you predictions. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just giving you a spoiler alert. Brian, I'm doing a drywall job for $1,200 for a homeowner, and I asked to be paid in cash. They said, no problem. Let's see how much they get. Yep. Ever since reports detail that a few German banks are imposing withdrawal limits and customers can only withdraw 1,000 euros per visit. Ever since last Thursday's stock market crash, people are reminded of the economic disasters in the past, like 2008's financial crisis, Black Wednesday in 1992, and Black Monday in 1987. However, those crashes didn't cause massive bank runs. The last time that happened was during the Wall Street crash in 1929. During the Great Depression throughout the early 1900s, the 20s and 30s, there was a massive run on savings and loan operations and financial institutions across the U.S. The economic crisis sparked by the coronavirus is causing these fears again. Bank runs are starting in Colorado. Marnita, you know about that? Bank runs are starting in Colorado. Another man from the U.S. tweeted on March 17th. This is yesterday. Smaller towns and small cities are not allowing walk-ins or anyone along with limits on cash withdrawals. Huh. Is this another article here? Or it's the same one, BitMEX. No, that has nothing to do with this. That press, 5K. All right, so that's on to something else. So you went to pull money out, you can only pull out a certain amount. Yep. It's starting. You see this picture here? Men and women line up in a run on a bank in New York City during the early 1900s. Depictions of bank runs can be seen in classic movies like Frank Capra's There You Go, It's a Wonderful Life. I watch that movie every year. It's a Wonderful Life. We're about to experience it for the first time in all of our lifetimes. Just got to be prepared. I didn't say be fearful. Be prepared. Because you can put yourself in a position to weather this storm. So I've got to run because I'm doing a presentation on just how to do that in 20 minutes. So I will put the link if you want to hop on so you know how to have a plan B. Zoom.us/my to give. Today, level 2 opens up, and I'm hearing level 1 contributions are already going out. Cha-ching, cha-ching, you guys like getting paid? That's going to happen today for level 1, and now we can contribute to level 2. So see you guys in 20 minutes, those who would decide to hop on. For some, this is going to be the worst year in their adult life. For others, it's going to be the best, depending on how you're positioned. But look at the rise. Look at Bitcoin. Since I've been talking, what's the price at? So the price has gone up 1.2% since I've been talking. $5,894 a coin. So we're seeing this turnaround, this up and up in the crypto space. All right, so see you guys in 20 minutes. And I'm doing the presentation again tonight publicly at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I have 2 private presentations I'm doing throughout the day. So with that, have a good day, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.